Hey guys, since I've been wanting to do really short videos for YouTube and just something really quick, I just wanted to show you something I'm working on at the moment, and it's basically the topic of how do you get certain things clean, and just cleaning up certain things can be tricky. You could clean this up really clean if you wanted. There's a certain level that you could get it clean to a point where no one could tell what methods you used to actually make it. And so but that takes a whole nother level, and it really depends if you find that quicker than rebuilding topology. But I wanted to show you can get it pretty clean to a level of 80% or so, and showing that you get these little irregularities. You could leave it there and that's fine, or say if you handed that off to someone to rebuild. But say if we wanted to get it cleaner, using your traditional methods of H polish and trim, you got trim adaptive and things like that. Trim dynamic is pretty good. And so say if I wanted to go in and clean this little corner part, which you can see it's kind of like it's wrapping around and not really kind of doing what you want from it. And this is asymmetrical here on the design, doesn't match the other side, so that it's two different sides and two different construction parts. So say if we want to go in and clean this up, you can start to clearly see it's lumpy and stuff like that, and really it's just going in, and you could just go in and start massaging the shape, and you get a lot better at doing this as you progress with your skill at modeling hard surface designs. You just go in, it's kind of like panel beating a car piece of metal back into shape, and that's how I look at it. And so with Dynamesh, you very much have an unlimited capacity of the shape that you could go to, and so you have to be like, well, okay, there's a bit of the understanding is this is kind of like rounded, so do I take that and make it rounded? And you can just go in and then smooth it out, just slowly polish it and polish it and polish it, and you can do an amazing amount of work just by hand and changing things like materials to different materials. You can change the lighting, but you've got the traditional where are they? The traditional basic material shaders, where you can look at them and they're a little bit more obvious. You can see how there is little lumps and bumps in there, and so you just go in there and you just use the move tool. You can set the move tool really low. The focal shift can be really soft also, and so when you do come in and just smooth it out and use a bit of shift, you hold down that shift key and you shift and just smoothing it, and you eventually get it really smooth, like to the point that no one can tell. And it just takes that patience to get there, and it really depends what you want from this. I don't really go this far into designs these days, unless I don't know, I just have I would say it's just if you have that want to say, if you want to go, I really want to print this design, and rebuilding it in any other methods would take even longer. So it's really up to you. You could do much more simple design like this and do it all in Dynamesh, and it's not a preferred way of rebuilding things, but it's a preferred way to concept things and have that unlimited capacity to build up things. So if we have this and that annoys you here, there's a good trick that you can use the move tool and just turn backface mask on, and you want to move these verts here. And so if you did that without it, you just kind of end up doing that. And this is how you go in and clean those edges. You just go like that. You just start looking at it and you think, well, that's good enough, and it just terminates a little bit more cleanly into the geometry. And so it's just really going in and massaging it, all the details that you need. And another trick is to use backface mask while using H polish, and go in and just polish that edge and give it a little polish, clean it up, a little bit of smooth, and then we go polish here, a little bit smooth, and you can redraw all these alphas. I do a lot of temporary placeholders, and you just, you polish the surface, give it a little smooth, and polish and give it a little smooth, and things will eventually look cleaner and cleaner to where you had them before. And you can give this, like up here, a little smooth out there. You could even just go over the whole thing, and you do a little trick like this, use the move tool, just go right over that, or you can use the trim adaptive and you can go over it, or trim, there we go, and that will take the vertices from the existing area and flatten it out. But there's many little ways just to go over and resurface things. I suggest you go and experiment with brushes, and you can see it's smoothed it out. And then you can go in, you just got to refine all these little edges. This is if you want these things to be like finalized and to a point where they're really, really clean. And yeah, if you guys just try and look at your design, and you can see where things are lumpy, they got their bumps, and go in there and just use these tool sets. Just, yeah, be aware of the brushes, be very careful with polishing. Things like this, that's a mess in there, but I probably won't clean it up too much more, because yeah, this is not a concept that I want to like finish. I just want to get it done, and that's enough information if someone was going to rebuild it. So I hope that helps you out with some just looking at designs and polishing up surfaces, and looking at it on an angle, and just look at things and take your time with some things, but don't obsess if you don't need to obsess about it. It's one of those things where you really can work with Dynamesh and get a really, really clean result, or you can work it to around this result here, and it's not too hard. It's not too it's really not that hard to get it to that result. Here you could just like come in, like if you're really picky about it, and just massage it. It doesn't take much, and you go over with smooth. It's just, it's not too bad doing that, but going in there and really finessing that detail will take time. So just like anything, right, it's there's no magic trick to doing things, and if people try and sell you on that angle of things are easier than they are, you should probably be running away. So alright guys, hope you guys got something out of that.